Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pronigo bringing you another Cause Monarchy cast, and today we're going to be looking at a three-player free-for-all featuring Terran, Zerg, and Ascozi, our fourth race for the game. I'm gonna be real feeling odd when I'm like, yeah, the Ascozi, not the most recent race in the game, because the fifth race is going to be dropping at the end of this year, and I'm definitely going to be, yeah, it does feel good, Godweed, it does feel good. I'm definitely going to be enjoying the Blood Summon arrival. It's like Eldritch Demons, but whatever you're thinking from that statement, it's a little bit more horrifying and a little bit maybe less generic, I guess. I haven't found like I can describe the Ascozi as cybernetic lizard people that are really good at, you know, reconstituting forms into usable materials. You know, they're leaving their humanity behind. I can give you an elevator pitch for the Ascozi, but the Blood Summon I think we'll just have to all discover together. Because I know what they are, but I like to leave them in some kind of mystique for a little bit. Liquidator, aka Grass Eater, is in the 12 o'clock position. So I actually have to change my title or my player list here because it says Slav, but that's not Slav. That is a fraud. And I agree. Question mark, question mark, question mark. God, we didn't know that the base was up here, I guess. So this worker scout went to the wrong location. HippityHoppity is the Magma Zerg in the bottom left, but the Dark Sapphire Terran is Grass Eater indeed. And we have the Periwinkle Godweed here in the 3 o'clock, going for an expansion after his first two Radix. A single Maverick has arrived. Godweed is very confused by that. And that's the kind of stuff that we like to know. And now we're just going to go ahead and type out Grass Eater's username. And fix that. TY, money. He hit him with a Pilgrim. It's a classic move. I recently had fixed a bug where the Ascozi scrap passive that the Pilgrim has when it hits a unit, that the Scepter or the Mimic now has, although I think this version was played before then, before those balance changes hit. But you know, all of those changes occurred, right? And then we had, in the process, fixed a bug. Ooh, oh, that's brutal. Oh, good moves from Hippity. That's nice. Nobody likes that move, except for me enjoying it. Godweed doesn't like that move. But nice moves there, nice moves. Good targeting. The cool thing about that scrap passive is that it was actually really good versus Zerg in particular because it wouldn't take into account if the unit was a dual birth unit. So when you would scrap Zeths, you would get double the intended amount. But then in my bug fix for that, I accidentally introduced a new bug where it always reduced the amount. So you were getting 12.5% instead of 25% on any unit. So that was pretty cool. I did fix that today before recording this video. Looks like Grass Eater has indeed been found, sort of. I don't think he's been found in the sense of, like, Godweed doesn't know where he is. He might think he's up top now at 12 o'clock. Where is Grass? Hippity also doesn't know where he is? Where is he? That's a good question. Random Mavericks just kill his Zep. This must feel like... I don't know how he's been allowed to be so bizarrely, like... he's cloaked. You know, his whole base is cloaked. They haven't been able to find him. So, yeah, that's really funny. And this Zep actually got away with murder, and literally, you know, it borrowed. I guess he didn't get very far away. Where? He just comes out of the dirt, dude. He just unburrows his Mavericks. That's what he does. Oh, he's going for him. Absolutely annihilated. So, yeah, this is $10, says Hippity. This is where we do have the Gauntlet coming in, the Gas Ridge Cap here, the Arch for the Ascozi. And it's going to be Scrapyard play. Interesting. So Grass, every time he plays as Terran, he plays under the ID Liquidator. It's one of the few things that I can get behind as a player, you know, changing their username when they change their race. Not in the sense of this is... I'm still going to call them Grass Eater. If they play Terran in tournaments or whatever, I'm still calling them Grass Eater. They can't be called Liquidator in tournaments, they're Grass Eater. But I do like the ladder ID change for when you're changing your race. I think that's kind of cool. But ultimately, let's be real, he's a bit of a goober, and he's going to be rocking out. He's going to be having a good time as Terran. Got his vestry, got his scrapyard, Starpad coming up. Vicar's now on the way for the Ascozi player. He's getting pretty good setup over here. He doesn't have any significant economic development, but all of the players are actually fairly even on their worker count. And a Cosmoscope is halfway complete now for Godwheat. I think prior to the changes to like the Cosmoscope and the function being a little bit more accessible, it feels like maybe the it feels like it's possible that Ascozy was actually pretty weak in FFAs, but mostly in terms of flexibility. I think they kind of had to stick to the same sort of thing. Excelsior, which is our map here, a 3-spot map I made a long time ago that was intended for free-for-all play. It's a wacky map. It's a real wacky map. You got this big wide smiley face that's supposed to be the natural expansion for the 12 o'clock position, but instead we got Grassier taking that. He's got a bunch of units off to the right-hand side. He is not guarding his own plateau very well at all. I guess on the left-hand side he is. Zeth looks like it tried to strike again. No dead workers, so it wasn't successful in getting any kills or anything. Cosmoscope is done, so no scout on that either. Nobody's aware of the Ascozy being capable of going for air. Blackjack Cleric is nifty. You know, it's a possibility there that could go nicely. Can't find him, lol. Yeah, you haven't really tried very hard, though. I am the blind of God. Shaman now out. Yeah, Shaman is where the Shaman Blackjack combo is where you're really going to get a lot of mileage out of that, because Blackjacks, when they hit that 50% HP threshold, start doing way less damage, and the Blackjacks will be kept mass alive, even against splash damage, like, you know, the Vicar, or to an extent Lake is, although this many is definitely going to be too much. The Shaman will be able to keep them robust in that respect. I think Excelsior, honestly, like, it's not a good map, right? I don't think I did a bang-up job, really, on the map, but I think the resulting gameplay is zany, and there is room for, you know, one player to be eliminated early. Usually, I guess it would probably be the 12 o'clock player, right? Like, conceptually, it would be the 12 o'clock player. I think there's the idea there for that. Also, I've played so much on a modified version of this by Smarty Cakes that where you got the spawns in the bottom. That is funny to me, and so I'm like looking over there like, did I put ramps there? No, that was a false memory implanted by Smarty Cakes. Shout out him one time. But yeah, there's like the possibility where like the left and the right, or I guess like 12 o'clock and somebody else, through like relocation or whatever, if you know you get this 12 o'clock spawn, you're gonna want to use the double gas base that's in your plateau here, but you're surroundable on all sides. It's really quite difficult. And it's not as simple, as I think, as like removing the back ramps either, because then you have to path a real far distance. Now the Lakers are going to go ahead and burrow. They're going to cleave these Blackjacks in twain so easily. Yeah, that's a huge rout of the army. And, you know, the Cestus is here for holding on. This left-hand side didn't really help him too much, but he's going to drop GG because the Emissaries, they ended up coming up here with the Vicars, and there's a lot of splash damage being taken by those transports, but he hasn't lost any of his Vicars. We have lost audio because Grass Eater was holding on to our audios. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate you leaving the game. That's just a bug we haven't been able to fix just yet. Did you go after him too? Neutral Terran. What's going on? Godweed is actually blind. And we are deaf, but he's blind. This guy has no awareness at all. He's like, I don't know where this guy is. Where is he? I saw some units around the place. Where is he? What's going on? And then he leaves the game after calling GG as he's attacked. And he doesn't. Yeah, we got that much gun. This cast is not so much casting Cosmonarchy gameplay. It's more talking about how bizarre and absurd the Godwheat performance is. So and he's gonna be able to get a good raid off of here at the very least. Unlikely. Couldn't hold my attack J end bracket and brace. Yeah, I understand why, because, you know, he's under attack, so there's an explanation for why he would end brace there. Now he's going to go ahead and borrow the Lakers. Looks like this guy was on a control group. Yeah, he doesn't have his... he has to be doing, like, box selection and stuff. Now, the Tirade's going to be pushed forward, but it will end up going down pretty quickly. A second one arrives. This is a really wide spread of Godweed's infantry here. Doesn't really look like Hippity's going to be able to break through with the ground army, but the burrow comes out. Does he have a Mimic in this fight, maybe? Yes, he has one Mimic for detection. That was a real difference maker here. The fight on the other side, the Vicar's still at large. Still got a lot more of them, too, so that Escagant's going down. Not a lot of workers here in the natural or the main base, so the third is completely toast. And he still doesn't have any units. Where's all his military? He's got a bunch of Lakers up here doing nothing. Really, Rokor's sustaining themselves, attacking the Terrans. Zoryu's slowly waddling back, and now we're going to have a Vicar go down, finally. Zeth clears a Pilgrim trying to expand to the bottom right, but this does not look very promising for the Zerg. He's lost his whole army. The Vicar drops have just not died. It's really quite something. This is still back when, oh, that was the one with all the Vicars, and yeah, it's going to go down. The Nats were made, but little surplus to requirements, I guess. Landlocked was actually already put down, so this must have been like the worker that made it or something. Got shoved off there. Well, that was a deranged sequence of events. This game is definitely on the deranged side. Really, I think I kept getting thrown off by Godwheat being thrown off by garden variety events and not knowing what the map was. So that really was confusing, but at least these rills are killing the Terran for us. Grass Eater will be feasted upon. Worker count at 33. I don't know where all of the workers are. Am I missing something? Oh, he had a big transfer at some point. Okay, so that explains it. He's got more coming. He's definitely doing a big round of workers. Going for the Ultra Core tech here is a good move. We already have Prosceniums coming up, but, you know, they do struggle versus Ultra Cores. We saw it in that cast featuring Hippity and Godwheat on Arctic Ablution recently, where we did have Ultra Cores being pretty much ignored, or pretty much ignoring the Ascosi army. That's definitely something where I think you need, like, Scepters and either that or you need like Object Vicar or something like that, you know? But this army is not going to be what holds this attack. There's so many Vicars. It's an absurd Vicar count right now. Most of them aren't even fighting. LMAO GG's, yeah. It's a pretty quick 3-player free-for-all here, including 4 minutes of silence. But listen, there was nothing silent about this game in terms of how absurd Godwheat's reactions were. So that's all I got for you for this particular cast, but boy, did this one at least make me laugh and chuckle quite a bit. So I hope you guys had a good time. And we'll be back tomorrow for more Cosmonarchy. This is definitely the cast you should donate to me for. Streamlabs.com/protocol. See you later.